Hey guys, welcome back to the third and final match here for this Under the Microscope series with Blue White Cawblade. Looks like we got a keeper here. We have turn 2 Ascanta, turn 3 Spell Quellers. Alright, looks like we're up against the Death Shadow matchup. They're targeting themselves to see if they want to, fetch. Looks like they want to draw the card on top of their deck, which is always scary. Here, let's just go ahead and lead on Flooded Strand. And pass the turn. So it's going to be quite a shame if our opponent has like a Thoughtseize next turn. Interesting that they chose to cycle on my end step. I feel like it's the kind of thing that they can wait to do. Wow, Swamp. That's really interesting. I wonder, maybe they're worried that I'm some sort of Blue Moon deck. But this is definitely not Blue Moon. They take Geist. So that means Search for Ascanta is resolving, which is great. Considering Verdant Catacombs, they could be Spell Snare. Considering they didn't play a land last turn, I think I just want to slam that as fast as possible. Ascanta is the kind of card that if my opponent is Thoughtseize, sure. So you can take my Queller or my Spell Snare. I imagine I'm going to lose Queller here. The only situation I see where I don't lose Queller is if my opponent wants to resolve something like a Tarmogoyf, and they have removal for my Queller, which they take Spell Snare. But looks like my opponent's going to play a Death Shadow here. And Death Shadow's not the end of the world for us. Sure. Field of Ruin, actually, weirdly not, I mean, we don't know how many basics they play, so I'm actually going to say yes. I think we need to find interaction, and that's great interaction. The issue is here, like, we could give them something to, like, dismember, and that just grows the Death Shadow, so I kind of want to do it on their end step here, because I could also just Spell Queller something. Ouch. That's pretty good for my opponent. That's plus some damage there. Alright, so we could try to race here, potentially. I think we just take the damage here, and we click on their end step if they don't play anything. What's nice about Spell Queller is it can hit take an Abrupt Decay if that's what my opponent chooses to do here. Alright, so we'll go for this Disruptive play. See what my opponent is working with. Alternatively, I could dig for something out of my deck. Like, I could target myself and take Spell Snare. Yeah, I kind of like that idea, actually. So here, if they want to Abrupt Decay, they can do so. Yeah. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have like Temur Battle Rage, and we can find one of the 4 Path to Exiles in our deck. No. So before we make any decisions, I'm going to go ahead and Serum Visions. Like, we might want to attack here, actually. Did we put that on top? I don't think so. I think we want to put that on the bottom, right? Can we beat Temur Battle Rage plus Abrupt Decay? No. If our opponent has a removal spell, then attacking with Click, I don't know. I think this is a bottom, actually. In this very specific case, worst case scenario, if we need to, we can block with Spell Queller. The issue is, of course, we're pumping our opponent's Death Shadow. Now, if our opponent doesn't have another fetch here, and they, want to tap out, all right. So they have a land. Land is really good, actually. Yeah, we kind of have to, and then if our opponent has Temur Battle Rage, we're screwed. But then again, we were kind of screwed if our opponent had Temur Battle Rage no matter what. So now we're just dead to double Street Wraith, and we have lethal on the way back, so Yeah, right. Team of Outrage gets us no matter what. Yep. But would I have drawn the Path to Exile? No, Spell Snare. That's rough. Okay. Celestial Purge is great in this matchup. Relic is fine. Verdict is fine. Settle is actually quite okay. Rest in Peace is decent. I like cutting the Sword of Fire and Ice. They do play K commands. Elspeth seems a bit... Well, Elspeth on like Geist seems not bad. We could cut the Spell Snares, because they're not great here. So, Purge are definitely coming in. Verdict is definitely in. I think Sword of Feast and Famine is quite good. So it's hard for me to cut that. We could cut a couple Squadron Hawks and bring in a Settle the Wreckage. I don't think we need Rest in Peace, but I do think we... Well, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. They're definitely an Abrupt Decay K-Command deck, so Sword of Feast and Famine, even though it gives protection, might be kind of awkward. Although, God, I kind of just want to keep cutting our Squadron Hawks. But then, like, 2 Squadron Hawk is, like, not good at all. But, like, they're also just blockers. I don't know. I think this is okay. Not necessarily easy sideboarding against Jund Shadow. Wow. Wow. Well, we have Path and we have Settle the Wreckage. I don't think we can mulligan this hand, unfortunately. As much as I want to. It's essentially a 6-card hand. I mean, not really, but it feels like it. Wow. I think we just play a Squadron Hawk. Yeah, this feels so bad right now. I wonder if my opponent has Thoughtseize here. Ooh, white. White for Lingering Souls could be quite good. And again, so Squadron Hawk just keeps feeling like the worst card in the deck, obviously because we don't have the synergies with like Jace the Mind Sculptor, things like that. So here we could be feeding our opponent's Death Shadow, but we're not winning this game without attacking, so... do we have any more? No, we were idiots, and we cut our Squadron Hawks. So I know you're not supposed to, because something like this can happen, but it just really felt like the worst card. Now if my opponent goes like Lingering Souls, please no. Liliana. Liliana actually is not the worst thing in the world, right? Let's just discard this Flooded Strand. Ah, there's the Lingering Souls. Wow, okay, so that's really good. I think I'm going to discard this Hollowed Fountain to Liliana's Uptick. Interesting. Another Lingering Souls? Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're in a really bad spot here. Lingering Souls, definitely not a card we came prepared for. Oh, no Thoughtseize too. Maybe they have Fatal Push. They probably have... Whoops. That was a mistake. Did not mean to click through my attacks like that. I guess I could have waited on that Path to Exile. I think weirdly enough here we discard the Settle because Cryptic Command is one of the best ways we can actually clear this Liliana of the Veil. Oh my god, they drew 3 Lingering Souls. My god. Opponent, have mercy. Traverse, oh, that's just a land, right? Oh my god. Misplay? I think that's one of the few ways we can actually win this game with a misplay. Ah, it's not, I really needed it that turn. Wow, Azcanta is really good. Yeah, I think we as good as Azcanta might be right now, I think we have to order it like this, because I think we have to bounce this Liliana. So what's nice is sort of Feast and Famine can untap Search for Azcanta, which is really cool. I don't think we're going to quite get there in this game, but discarding Team or Battle Rage is always scary. Could just mean our opponent doesn't have a big fatty, though. Alright, well there's a big fatty. I guess we do have protection from it, though. Alright, our opponent might want to unload their hand here. Alright, so they don't do that, so let's go ahead and return Liliana and tap my opponent's team. So my opponent, of course, still has to discard a card here. Discarded a land. Probably wants to replay Liliana. And let's go ahead and sacrifice this Squadron Hawk that doesn't do anything. This is a really scary board here. I'm not gonna lie. Having this Settle the Wreckage would be really nice. Fortunately, we don't play things like Snapcaster Mage. Path to Exile. Pretty good draw. I think we just want to clear this Liliana, obviously. Taking 10 next turn does not excite me in the slightest. Another Traverse, alright. So they could get a Death Shadow here. If their last card is a Team or Battle Rage, they are incentivized to use it right now. Because if we are able to get another hit in with this sword... 2, 3... Alright. Let's just go ahead and preserve our life total here. Alright, that's a better draw than most. Let's go ahead and bottom that. And obviously we want to hold back Squadron Hawk to block Death Shadow. Yeah, now we definitely have to, right? Yes, the thing is, like, our opponent, they can easily get aggressive here, right? And because of Team or Battle Rage, they can go to 8 here. That's a 16. Wow, so they have lethal even if they have Team or Battle Rage. I think smart play here is just wait till we draw another Path to Exile. Another Traverse. Oh my god. So, like, Supreme Verdict here would be nuts. Just nuts. Grim Flare, huh? Come on, Verdict off the top. My god, lands for days. So land actually blocks Grim Flare. So we'll hold back for another turn here. Hopefully they didn't draw Fatal Push. No attack with Grim Flare. Oh, attack with Grim Flare. Alright, so we'll go ahead and rev up this Colonnade. Alright, just want to make sure I'm doing it on the right Colonnade and that I'm not activating the wrong one. Oh my god. Okay, well, just play defense for a little bit longer. There were 4 lands on it. Well, I guess we did shuffle our deck, so we did lose our scry. But now we can activate Colonnade, block a Spirit. It's not the worst. Not the best either, obviously. Ah, they drew the push finally. Yep. Alright, I think there's no draw left in our deck outside of Supreme Verdict that could get us out of this. Yeah. So I think we have to draw Verdict right here, right now. Wow! Oh, that's quite tilting for my opponent, huh? Hey, it's a game. It's a game. Cross our fingers. Alright, that's a land for my opponent. Purge, okay, that answers Liliana, that answers Death Shadow. Doesn't answer a Tarmogoyf. Sure. Spell Queller, wow. Yeah, sign me up. Question is, do we just slam it and equip? I think so. Would be nice to have that as Kanta right about now. Alright. We got our opponent on a 1-turn clock. Wow, we actually... Whew! Play to your outs, guys. Play to your outs, you know? One of the best things that you can do. Alright, looks like we somehow won that grind fest. Okay. Okay, okay. Let's reconsider our sideboard here. Elspeth is definitely a grindy card for sure, but it's a little weak. Steel Shaper's Gift is just okay. I think I'm okay cutting that. Now we want to make one more cut here. Probably like a Mana Leak. Yeah, Mana Leak's not even that great against my opponent. I don't want to play that kind of game against them, right? I want to grind them out with removal. Yeah, Mana Leak is quite a dead draw. I should have cut those from the start, actually. Okay. Similar hand that we had last game. Obviously, we want to find lands from here on out. See, our opponent went top, which is good for them, obviously. Inquisition probably takes my path to exile here. Yeah, so obviously drawing like this top end in our opener is quite annoying, but wow, they took Squadron Hawk. It is an annoying card. I will give them that. All right, Spell Queller is not a bad draw if we can find a third land. Sure. Street Wraith. Okay. They could land a Death Shadow here. Looks like I get to dodge Death Shadow for one more turn. Geist. That's a kind of a bad draw here. So, like, keeping in Mana Leak is not the worst thing. Oh my god. Come on, deck, give me some lands. Because if we had a land there, I think we could really take over the game. Alright, they cycled. Did they find a threat? Windswept Heath. No threat. Alright, so our opponent either has a reactive hand or they're flooding. I think both are good for us. However, a Liliana here would be rough. I'd probably discard Geist to Liliana. I think. Wow, Lingering Souls, sure. Yeah, it would have been really nice to take that out of their hand with Click, but what can you do? Alright. That's a card. I think I'm gonna go ahead and... Well, yeah, I think I wanna... Well, no, I don't wanna click them. Well, maybe I do on their draw step. Yeah, I think I do. I think I want to get aggressive here. With Cryptic and Geist in my hand, like, I could really clear the way for that next turn. Shoot, how many, so they have Sorcery, Creature, Land. I guess we take, Inquisition. So they have Traverse, Fatal Push. I could have snipped that hand, I forgot to. So yeah, their attack is free here. We're just going to take it. We could set up for the kill in 2 turns. Traverse, Fatal Push, right. That is assuming we get to draw a land. No land. I think here we just slam Geist and say go. Our opponent does know we have Cryptic Command. So that's not like a secret that we could have lethal next turn. Wow, they just cycled Street Wraith. Interesting. So we know Traverse, Fatal Push. Alright. They have Fatal Push with Revolt, but that still doesn't beat a Cryptic Command. Yeah, it's quite scary here to attack into this. If I was my opponent. Alright. They're fetching a basic. Thoughtseize would be really good. Fatal Push, okay. Interesting. If they were going to Fatal Push me, then... Oh, wow, now they have instant in the graveyard. Sure. Sure. So obviously land here would just be lethal. Because they don't have Fatal Push for my... I mean, I guess they could have Fatal Push, right? They have 1 unknown in hand. This, again, with Path in our hand, this Death Shadow is not the end of the world. But hopefully we can just rip untapped land and call it a day. Not untapped land. Not untapped land at all, huh? So they still have one unknown in hand. I think we want to Serum Visions here to ensure we get a land. Wow. Wow. Great cards, both of these, but I don't think I can afford to keep them. I don't think I have that kind of time. I could keep the Colonnade, but then next turn, what am I doing? I'm still playing one spell a turn. And now I just have to hope my opponent does not have Team or Battle Rage. Land. Hopefully no Liliana either. And if my opponent attacks all out on me here, I don't think I can afford to block the Death Shadow. Our opponent has to keep back one spirit at least. Wow. Wow, they're just attacking all out, huh? That's 13 damage. Excuse me, guys. I guess we block the Death Shadow, right? Oh, that's lethal! Oh my god, that's lethal. If we don't block. Wow. Wow. That's quite a shame. Tarmogoyf, sure. Land. Alright. If my opponent attacks with everything, well, Settle the Wreckage gets them. They should know about this Settle, though. Interesting attack from my opponent. I think I'd just say okay to that. See what my opponent's packing here. Another Death Shadow. And now we have Cryptic Command too. I mean, you just have to hope our opponent doesn't rip Removal Spell. And even if they do, I mean, we're not in the worst spot. Beginning of combat. Let's go ahead and tap all creatures your opponents control. Draw a card. Alright. Is that lethal, opponent? They shouldn't let me untap because I have Spell Queller. But yeah, it looks like we won the match there. Wow, so in game 2 that got really close, right? But obviously we have a lot of answers in our deck. So because they were on Jund Shadow, we're like 4-color Shadow without blue. That means like Stubborn Denial. We never had to worry about Stubborn Denial, and that's what I always think. Like at least as a control player, the blue versions are always way more powerful to me, and it seems more powerful against the field too. So I'm not quite sure on that, but I'm glad we weren't playing against Grixis Shadow, I guess. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the closing comments. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the closing comments here. Let's talk about the deck. I really enjoyed playing it. I think it's got a lot of good things going on. A lot of bad things going on too, so I'm not going to say it's like the best deck ever or anything like that. But it is quite cool. So we were able to beat, let's recap, we were able to beat Black, White, Eldrazi, and Taxes. We were able to beat Burn, and we were able to beat 4-color Shadow. And so what's great is we have a lot of tools in our deck to, you know, gain advantages and also answer our opponent's threats. That's what I really like about this. So not only do we have ways to gain card advantage, we have answers in our deck, and we can apply quick pressure, right? We have Geist, we have Click, we have Spell Queller, and we have these swords to make things like Squadron Hawk a viable threat, right? And not only that, we're playing these cards in a blue-white shell, which, you know, has a great way to answer what our opponent's doing, right? We have counter spells, we have Path to Exile, one of the best unconditional removal spells in the format. We have Cryptic Command, one of the best, you know, counter spells in the format. But obviously, as you saw in some of those games, it did so much more than just be a counter spell, right? Tap my opponent's team, draw a card, swing for lethal, you know. That's just what I love about playing a tempo deck like this. But that's what this deck is at heart. It's a tempo deck. And I really liked playing it. I think the mana could use some work. I don't know if we need all 4 colonnades. We could play with a 4 we could maybe cut down a colonnade and add maybe another basic, because I think hitting untapped sources is pretty important for this deck. You know, swinging in with colonnades isn't as necessary in this build as something like blue-white control or blue-white midrange, you know, because we have all these other threats that can get the job done as well. So overall, really happy with how the deck performed. Kind of want to call the deck Queller Blade, you know, because, you know, while Squadron Hawk is quite cool, I think Spell Queller is really the thing that holds the deck together. It makes it playable, right? Because everything else is just kind of meh, but Spell Queller on its own is a counterspell, it's an evasive threat, and it can just go to town with swords, you know, or Batterskull, as you saw, you know, against Black, White, Eldrazi, and Taxes. Now, we didn't quite get to connect with it or anything, but it is a thing we can do. Overall, I really enjoyed playing the deck. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I know it's been a while, and I know, again, I'm sick, and I don't look great, and everything like that, but hopefully you were still able to understand what I'm saying and enjoy the content and everything like that. Anyways, I'd love to hear what you think about this deck. Obviously, it's not necessarily an original idea, but I don't think anyone's played a deck quite like this or anything like that. So we were able to beat 3 very competitive decks, right? Black, White, Eldrazi, Taxes, Burn, and 4-color Shadow. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys, and stay tuned for my next video coming up shortly. I'll see you all very, very soon.